let's get this straight. Now you're a Jewish kid from the Bronx. Life's going pretty good. The country gets into a war. Right. You make a decision to join the Army Air Force.
Right.
And a year later, you're in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, swimming for your life.
You got it.
Yeah. I'm really interested in these life belts. The name of the belt that they handed out to you guys was an M1926. That's what it's called. And it was designed for amphibious raids. They would use them for like D-Day. And you could understand why. They were easy to carry around your waist. And they didn't slow you down. They weren't too heavy.
The belts that we got on the Rohna were given without instructions. Because the feeling was, what do we need it for? We'll never need it.
Right.
And when it came time to decide about going overboard, I had to grab somebody to tell me how it operates, if it had to be blown into, or so he fixed up. It wasn't much to do on it. They fixed it as far as they knew, and that's what I went overboard with. But I never actually knew what I was wearing.
Yeah. So when you got on the ship, they handed them out, I guess. As soon as you got on, told you to wear them all the time.
Yeah, that's about it. But no instruction, and there wasn't any pre-drill that I remember.
Yeah. I know a lot of the guys didn't even realize they belonged under their armpits. Did you figure that out on your own, or somebody there knew, or you got lucky?
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah.
The guy standing next to me just worked it out.
The lifeboats themselves, they talked, did they talk about that much? About how they would work? Who would?
No.
What do you remember about the lifeboats?
Well, we went on board on top level.
Yeah.
We say, there are lifeboats at least. But then we saw the Indian crews just lowered them without any, it was lopsided and everything, and crashed. One of them I know crashed.
Yeah.
Disintegrated.
Yeah.
It was old boats. The wood was, it wasn't new stock.
Right.
And that's why they just disappeared over the side of the boat, all the lifeboats. So, there was nobody in command, so they didn't say all the lifeboats were filled overboard. So just look for yourself. And I said, we got to go overboard. And the two other guys that were with me said, yes, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember the lifeboats being really old ones that cracked so easily when they're lowered. And hit something, I guess.
And you experienced seeing the rust and being painted over? Do you recall that, or you didn't really?
Old looking lifeboats. I remember.
Yeah, it must have been the first instinct was to look for the lifeboats and see how to get them down. And then I guess you ruled that out pretty quick.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when the missile hit the Rohna, where were you? And what led up to? Go ahead.
The lower level had a library, which I had gone to. And when the explosion happened, it was right next door in the engine room where the library was located, right next door. And it was cataclysmic. Right away, you knew something's big.
So the library was by the engine room, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was, and you were in the library.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And I said, well, I got to get it onto a higher level because this is not going to last long.
The lights went out immediately?
Yeah. The stairway, originally intact, was a circular stairway going down,
Right.
and there was no circular stairway there.
Really?
The remnants of some steps, which luckily I was able to reach and finally get up on the top level. Or yeah, it must have been top.
So your unit was, you were in the library, you were away from your unit.
Yes.
Were they in a safer place for the most part, as far as the actual?
Yes, because this was the closest
Yeah, right.
to the actual explosion.
Yeah.
So, but again, there are other units not that far away, I guess, where the bunks were.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they say there was a wave of, the attack started earlier and the missile was launched later. So once the attack started, the first time you knew there was any kind of problem, you were already in the library.
Yes.
So that was just the best place to stay, and that's what you did. Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't aware of anything going on.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I was down there, and the only thing I knew was the explosion. They said,
You didn't have no idea that the Rohna was, that the whole convoy was under attack until
No.
the actual missile hit the ship.
right.
You must have been reading a pretty good book.
At least I was looking for one.
Yeah.